Napoleon Bonaparte worshipped Satan and ruined the world by spreading the poison of liberal stupidity and vice. George Washington also did the hidden hand pose, as did Mozart, and I did videos on these frauds. Here's a supposed prince, I guess. He's doing the hidden hand pose, but it's combined with the implied devil horn sign, showing that it is indeed a satanic symbol. Karl Marx, Rothschild, banker. Edgar Allan Poe, Friedrich Nietzsche, who is, by the way, dead, good riddance. Stalin, Darwin. They all were working for the same New World Order satanic agenda by advancing different facets of it, or they were different legs or limbs of it, promoting it forward. Left versus right, yet both walking in the same direction. Communists versus capitalists, for example. They call themselves free. Free from what? Free from the truth? That means slavery to lies. No one is free. We're all slaves to something. So this guy's always depicted doing this stupid pose. Really stupid. And the alibi that, oh, it was something that the ancient Greek orators did, I refuted that argument in my video, in a recent video uploaded before this one. I don't know if it was the Washington one or the Mozart one. Must have been one of those. So why did Napoleon go to Russia? Why did he stretch the supply lines? He knew what was going to happen. He wasn't that stupid. He wasn't ignorant about the logistics. He knew what would happen. That was his intention, was to destroy the Grand Army. Decimate it, at least. He was just a puppet of the Templar group that he was a member of, which was a puppet, that group, of the Synagogue of Satan, as I have already proven in this video by the Hidden Hand, plus also the series The British Empire Was Not the Biggest, as well as Martyrs of the Devil. I covered the Templars and how Europe conquered the world, spreading their satanic tentacles everywhere to serve the elite Jews. So Russia didn't really win by their genius. No, they were granted victory. They were granted victory, and Putin right now is holding back on purpose. Why? To drain the resources of Russia, as are the NATO people. Because for this World War III, all sides have to be reduced, exhausted, to advance the New World Order agenda. Why did the US let China? Why has it been letting China get stronger until recently, and probably still continues to do so to an extent? It's because the United States was created for the New World Order, as it declares. It's not a theory, it's a fact. It admits that it was created for the New World Order on the dollar bill. Novus Ordo Seclorum is right there in your face. But I digress. So, mainstream history is full of shit, plot holes and contradictions. But if you understand the history of the Jews, if you understand the Templars, true history, and so-called Freemasons, then you can fill in the gaps, connect the dots, and see how it makes all sense. How it all makes sense with those pieces of the puzzle in place. So this guy was a narcissist, as a typical liberal is, but he was the king of libtards. He crowned himself. So he was saying that the Pope doesn't have greater authority than him, that religion is just a culture to him. So he was promoting atheism. Why? Because atheists undermine religious establishments, and atheists are pawns, the communists especially, to pave the way for the global religion of open devil worship to come. That is the This is explained in the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion, which I did a video showing was not entirely a hoax. It was just staged to look like one. Now look at the star necklace there. It's a 10-pointed star, so it's a Kabbalah reference. Sephiroth was designed by this Japanese guy. His name was derived from the Kabbalah, in which the 10 Sephirot on the Tree of Life represent the 10 attributes through which God reveals himself, supposedly. So basically he's saying that he's God. So God is manifested in him. He is God incarnate, supposedly. And you know how the emperors, notice his Caesar laurel wreath, emperors were worshipped as gods also, which corroborates with this. Not to mention he's very much idolized by some French people, I'm sure. Although their voice is not heard much in the Anglosphere, since they don't care much for English, and I applaud them for that. They should value their superior language over English, which is a very illogical and unromantic language in comparison to most, and especially to French. So, well, I don't know about the logical part there, but they're both pretty logical. But French is more logical. I digress again, sorry. So this is a very famous illustration showing, as below so above, Satan rules the earth below, and his plan is to conquer above. Napoleon is pointing to heaven. Conquer heaven is the idea. Defeat God is the idea. God is the tyrant above all tyrants, according to libtards. Oh, he doesn't let us be perverts. Oh, he's going to punish us with hell. He's so mean. Yeah, he is going to punish you with hell. So red and blue has symbolism also, seen in many characters and idols of the world. Red and blue represent fire and water, or male and female. Opposites, in other words, opposites combined in the same being, represent completion, perfection, the perfect being, which the devil, his incarnation, the Antichrist, will be seen as by the world. Oh, he's perfect. So female breasts, male phallus, opposites combined, red, blue, opposites combined, they make purple the color of royalty. The Antichrist will be, of course, a king, the king of the world, apparently. And this fake Jesus, this idol, with long hair like a woman, matches that, corroborates again. Male and female combined in the same being, Antichrist symbolism. This is not Jesus, this is the devil. Equality is in contradiction to the laws of nature, which establish subordination. We must undermine faith, say the protocols, tearing from the minds of the Goys, the non-Jews, the very principle of God. Liberty should finally undermine and ruin the non-Jews' society. Now, look at the United States to give a very prominent example of liberalism in action. It shows inefficiency in government. It shows ignorance of the masses. It shows chaos, degradation, perversion, and the promotion of evil and the punishment of good, the corruption of purity. That is what liberalism has brought to the world, an increase of that exponentially so, especially in our time, exacerbating by the day. That is what liberalism has brought to the world. It is poison, it is shit, and liberalism should not be in your family. If you care about your family, don't let it touch your children, don't let it poison their minds. That's what I intend to do. That's why my daughter shall not have any pissney shit, except music that has no lyrics, because the music is fine, so long as there are no lyrics. They always have evil messages. Masonic catchwork, liberté, égalité, et fraternité. Yeah, that makes you feel good inside, doesn't it? But the truth is, there is no equality. There is no, because there are people smarter than you. There are people dumber than you. There's no equality. Women are not equal to men. Women are better at nurturing babies. They have tits that provide milk. Men have to buy milk. Fraternity. What fraternity? The rich are, Napoleon was not living like a peasant. No. What fraternity? He was way above you. What fraternity? He was a hypocrite. We've already destroyed all governments except our own, say the elite Jews. Yeah, because all governments that you see, they're just puppet governments. Undermining the last remnants of authority. That's what liberalism has accomplished. See, Napoleon was a lapdog of the synagogue of Satan. His mission was to undermine Gentile monarchies, which were seen as the only visible obstacles to the synagogue of Satan's plan for total world domination. I worship a Jew. I'm not an anti-Semite. I love his race. The Jewish race is not the problem. It's their Talmudic culture, which is a racist culture. Under our guidance, the people have exterminated aristocracy. Remember the French Revolution, the work of our hands. Napoleon was a champion of the French Revolution. He promoted a lot of that, even though he was a hypocrite who was a dictator, of course. But what is democracy but the tyranny of the majority, of gullible people easily manipulated by the people who control the media? For example, the media says Iraq has weapons of mass destruction, and that's what the democracy believed in, and that's what they did. So the people who control the media controlled the democracy. Therefore, the democracy was actually an oligarchy of the elites who control the media. And they are, of course, Jewish, nominally. So this is propaganda of the French Revolution. Here you see some bitch showing her tits because she is a shameless whore. And red and blue combined, you know what that means. So the flag of France is a symbol of the Antichrist, as is the flag of the United States, the divided snakes. And here you see red and blue again. This guy's idolizing this whore. Male and female combined, red and blue, they're actually one together. This is another symbol of the Antichrist. Satan, Baphomet, the one with tits and yet a phallus. Red and blue combined. She holding the flag shows she is identified with red and blue. So they are one. Here you see someone posing with guns in a very bizarre position, because that's actually symbolism of as below, so above. Satan rules the earth below, and he wants to rule heaven above. Liberty turns the masses into bloodthirsty beasts. Atheism says people are just animals. When people believe they are just animals, they will act accordingly. The poison of liberalism. The Constitution is nothing more than a school for dispute, which weakens the efficiency of government. So equality, fraternity, liberty, repeated by unconscious, mindless parrots, ruin the prosperity of the world and true individual freedom. What freedom do you have when there are no limits to other people's freedom, which can infringe with your freedom or conflict with your freedom? Then you lose your freedom because they infringe on your freedom. Their freedom conflicts with yours. There is no equality in nature. So the French Empire of Napoleon was invited to destroy the Spanish Empire because Spanish Masons colluded with the French ones, letting them in. Spain invited France to destroy the Spanish Empire because Spain was controlled by Masons and their interests were not the Spanish interests. It was actually the New World Order interests to advance the devil's agenda of preparing the world for the Antichrist by getting rid of religious establishments like Catholicism, undermining them. Later, Catholicism will join hands with other false religions and say, we have misinterpreted things, it is actually the devil who is God. That's what they will say. So he promoted atheism. Why? To pave the way for the global religion of open devil worship. Then atheists will be gotten rid of once they have served their purpose as the pawns that they are. Napoleon, one-eye symbolism in this recent movie, propaganda, Zechariah 11:17 says the Antichrist will be one-eyed. That's what that refers to. So he emancipated people from ghettos, I guess. He gave Judaism more rights, so showing once again whom he was serving. You can pause and read that. I have only 1 minute left. The wealth of America made the Habsburgs strong. Without Spain, the Habsburgs would have been too weak to fight the Ottomans. Without the Habsburgs, Spain wouldn't have fallen so quickly. Your anti-Spanish prejudice is disgusting. France was fighting Spain with half the population of France, plus divided weak Germans, where Spain was against half the world. France was pathetic. Pause and read if you want. France betrayed Europe by allying with the Ottoman Empire out of fear of Spanish power. So this guy denied that. I said France made Ottomans stronger and undermined their own religion to advance their selfish nationalistic agenda. So much for piety. So pause and read if you want. Of all the peoples of Europe, Spaniards disgust me the least. Merci.